And now, Freelance Heroism.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Deese.
And I'm Rachel.
And before we even get started, I just want to take a second to thank everyone out there who donates to the Patreon. In particular, those who donate at the producer tier. You help us make a better show for everyone.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Rachel, would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Duncan, Nate, Breakmeister, Rebecca, Orient_Tiger, and Chris Sones. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you. Sorry, I coughed. So I coughed at the end. I was thanking you too much, probably. That's nonsense. I can never thank you guys. Never thank you guys too much.
Aw.
I know. Okay, so we didn't really have a plan for what to talk about, but I had an idea of something to talk about if you're interested.
Sure.
I'll try to avoid spoilers.
Okay.
But it's from the game Tales of Arise, the new Tales of game.
All right.
And it's on PS5. I have the PS5 version. It's really good. It's very anime. So just buckle up for that if you're planning on getting into it. If you think like you're gonna play Skyrim, it's not Skyrim. It's very anime.
Mm-hmm.
But it is. I don't know. It's more anime in some cases and less anime in others. The gameplay is fan-fucking-tastic. In particular, the combat. And this thing happened earlier today, where I was playing, just kind of like grinding out in this field.
Mm-hmm.
Right, just kind of like random battle chains. And so I run up and I attack these, I don't know, they're like warthogs with like kind of bone plates on them. Anyway.
Okay.
So I'm wailing the shit out of them, right? And they're a little dense, so it takes a couple seconds to kill each one. And I get to the last two, and then there's like a weird cutscene in the middle of the battle, which is surprising.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I mean, this is like I did like 100 of these, so like, how am I gonna get a cutscene in the middle of a fight? I thought maybe they're unlocking a new mechanic, maybe I unlocked a mystic art or something like that early.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. A dragon came in to fight. It apparently noticed us battling and decided, hey, I want in on that. And so it came in, attacked one of the pigs, attacked one of my players. One of my other characters, and then started breathing fire. And so we had to finish off the pigs and then attack the dragon. And it was more difficult than I was expecting.
Well, it's a dragon and you were fighting pigs.
It had like 10 levels on me. It was pretty ferocious, I'll be honest. And I ended up winning. I beat it, but it was tough. It has this little in the game there's like these chunks of a creature that's like your weak spot, right? You can kind of notice it. It kind of glows like an amber color.
Okay.
And so you kind of know where the weak spot is. And if you hit it enough times, it's called a core break. And it'll knock them down. And they're sort of like stunned, I guess, temporarily. Or you can beat the shit out of them for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
But I must have broke this thing's core like 15 times. This thing was as defensive laying down with his eyes closed as he was flying around. By the way, flying around, shooting meteors at you.
Whoa.
Yeah, breathing fire. Like he lands in the middle of the battlefield and then just kind of goes, just like fire. Oh, man. It had my mage's number. This Rinwell, this mage, just kept getting fucking biffed. It just kept. But yeah, so it was pretty gnarly. And I'm more excited about it. Because like once you start to get comfortable in a JRPG, you kind of lose the excitement.
Mm-hmm.
But if at any minute a dragon or another monster could just, I mean,
that's
like
pretty cool.
An elite monster, not some just rando.
Yeah.
Like a hard ass could just fly in and be like, "Yo, what's up? I think I'm gonna fight you now." And you're just like, "Oh God." You have to always be ready for a boss to drop in.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I also have a surprise dragon story that happened today. So I was DMing a game for my in-person group, and they were exploring this moored ship,
Mhm.
and they found that was like covered in scratches, and a lot of the wood was ripped up. And they looked down into the hold, and there was a troll. And I knew they would assume this. They all thought that the troll had made like all the scratches and stuff, so nobody stopped to investigate to see what type of monster had made these scratches. What they didn't know was that an ancient white dragon used that ship to store some of her hoard. So she had ripped it up and put some of her hoard there, and then flew off, and then a troll had come and was like looking around in the hold. So they go in and they fight this troll, and then they fight this other creature that's on the boat. And then a storm is coming in. So they're like, we're gonna camp out, we're gonna wait out the storm in this boat. This, now that we've cleared it.
Clearly the smart move.
Yeah.
In a storm on the ocean to hang out in a boat.
So they start to get comfortable, and then they find some kobolds in the boat, in the ship.
Right.
And
they had the same idea, which is always a good sign.
Well, no, the kobolds live there to serve the dragon.
Oh.
And so they start talking to the kobolds, and the kobolds are like, yeah, we serve our master. And they thought it was like this undead that they'd killed on the ship. They're like, oh, we're really sorry, but we killed the captain. And they're like, oh, I guess you could call her the captain of this land. And they're like, she? And they say, yeah. And then they say this long name. And the party's like, we don't know who that is. What does she look like? And the kobolds are like, oh, she has these huge wings and these gleaming white scales and like the cold breath of winter. And they're like, we should go. And then outside the ship, they hear these flapping of wings.
Oh, no. No.
The party completely panicked because, like I said, this was an ancient white dragon, which is a CR20. They were level 4.
Oh, fuck. You're just being a rude asshole at this point.
So they panic and they like go off in different directions. And at one point, the wizard's like grabbing one of the kobolds. He's like, you need to come upstairs with me and explain to her that we're not thieves. We were just taking care of that troll for her. We were just helping her. And the kobold's like, you need to let go of me. I don't want to be anywhere near you guys. It was really funny. But they managed to get away. But it was,
how do they get away from an ancient white dragon? They're like, don't they have spell casting and they're like evil?
They do. The paladin bravely sacrificed himself a little bit. And also this dragon was so old, she has cataracts over her eyes, so she can only see out about 60 feet.
Oh man.
And then with the storm coming, it gave them a lot of cover when they all jumped off the ship and ran in different directions, basically.
Smart move.
And, they were able to escape. But it was after they all met back up, they were talking a little bit about what happened, and someone said something. I was like, I thought the troll just lived there, and I was like, oh, did you think those scratch marks were from the troll? And like the whole table's like, yeah, we thought that was the troll.
Yeah. I mean, it's an intentional misdirect, you know that, right?
I do.
Yeah. Also, you're really mean to your players, I've noticed. Whenever we talk about the freelance games, we always talk about the story and we're setting up for background stuff, so we're leaving clues and stuff like that, hinting at it. But whenever you talk about those games, you're like, I killed a player, and I'm like, oh, sort of a different vibe over there, huh?
Well, speaking of games that I run,
yeah.
This week is the first episode of our season break from Dragon Heist.
Right.
And so I DM one of the adventures from Candlekeep Adventures.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm excited. Anytime we get to demo a new character, I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. So this is Candlekeepers, episode 1.
Ooh.
And that's it. It doesn't have a subtitle. It's just a number. Just chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
Yes.
But I really like this character. I don't want to. I mean, I shouldn't talk about him, right? before the game?
I don't think you really need to, because we talk about, well, you guys talk about your characters sort of at the start of this episode.
Okay.
So,
Well, I really like him. I like playing him. He's funny.
well, maybe we should play another one of these sometime.
Yeah, I would especially like to keep the same characters.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and go to this episode.
Whatever you say, Chicky. I'm curious, before we get started, can you guys I just need like 3 lines about what your character is like, their class, race, and then just give me a brief understanding of their accent so I can adjust, because I don't want there to be any overlap. Because we did this last time where in the moment I had to make Ren Asmir up. And like it didn't go perfect. I mean, it was salvageable, I think, at this point as like a goof, but I don't know if it was great in the moment. I remember when I did it, Rachel laughed for like fucking a full 2 minutes.
I wasn't expecting that.
Cousin Balky, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a good question. I'm thinking about my voice.
Okay, then here we go again. I was like, what voice will nobody use?
Well, I mean, you're noir style, so I mean, that's kind of all built in already, isn't it?
Not exactly. I was actually doing some research earlier before I crashed. I got a whole like 4 hours of sleep today, so we're ready to rock and roll.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I really wanted a class that had a cantrip that would allow me to play horns whenever I walk around, like mystery horns. Na 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 dun, dun. Right?
It's just jazz music from out of nowhere.
Yeah. Like I walk slowly across the room investigating.
I don't know. Yonk is going to be, I don't know. I'm thinking if I can kind of pull off Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit. It's just really a little bit childlike, excited.
Yeah, like in the appraisal of characteristics that he finds valuable, it was like beat your ass, lift heavy things, throw things really fast, kick, punch, bite. And then somewhere towards the bottom, it was like how to judge whether things are too hot. Like, don't snort pebbles from the bottom of a lake.
Well, I mean, in terms of Yonk, I mean, he's a childlike, maybe a little bit. I don't want it, not simpleton, but just very
Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, a little bit of Lenny. Yeah, a little bit maybe. Very, very faithful to those that show him patience, that show him. He's very loyal. He does, however, he does not want to be called stupid.
Okay.
And one of his character flaws is that if you call me stupid, it'll be the last thing you call me.
Okay. So mental note to everyone else in the group: if we call him stupid, we got to be crafty enough to where he doesn't get it.
Oh no.
Well, Yonk is going to understand that there's a difference between the playfulness that he has with his fellow librarians. I mean, to be fair, he came to the library. He sought out the librarians because librarian rhymes with barbarian, and he figured that would be a good mix to, that they would be able to help him. Yeah, So,
after his brief tenure as Washington D.C. governor, the Marion Barian.
Yeah. Except, no, I don't smoke the crack.
That guy got reelected. That's crazy. That's just crazy.
Hookers and Blow 2024. Yay!
It's not looking so bad. It's not looking bad now.
No, it's not.
Depends who he's running against.
It's like,
Well, do you have an accent?
For Dragonborn, I don't do accents well. I don't want to sound too. I don't want it to come out as sounding dopey, but.
All right, D-Walk, tell me a little bit about your guy then.
Yeah.
And give me a voice.
Well, now, deep into that darkness, peering long, I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming, no mortal ever dared to dream before.
That's a lot of words.
To be young and to dream.
I'm getting like a melancholy Dr. Midnight.
I'm getting a Shakespeare vibe from this. A dream, to say no more, and by his sleep, to say we end this heartache and 1,000 natural shocks that flesh his hair to. 'Tis a consummation, devoutly to be wished, he said, shaking his fist at the sky as the drums rolled in from off stage.
Alas, poor Yorick. Crack. Damn it, I dropped his skull.
Alas, poor yogurt. I stirred him well. Oh, that'd have been fun. I didn't even consider doing a Shakespearean actor. That'd have been fantastic. Oh, man. Especially if he was like a foot soldier. Like he was like a warrior with like the pole arm. Shakespeare. Oh, my God. His name's Billiam Shakespeare. Oh, God. Can I make that real quick? I don't want to do that. Okay, well, my dude is a bounty hunter by trade originally, who after years of grinding out the back alleys and dark streets to try to get this grime off this city, which was an uphill battle, right? So he thought, where can I find these demons, these devils, these fiendish followers and cultists, these people who rise evil from the very foundation? And he thought, well, they all sort of do the same thing. They all find some ancient books of magic and they study them and then they call forth their demons. So if I can get them at the source, that'd be a good way to profile them. So what's the largest, greatest library in all the land? There you go. I'll embed myself as a librarian and get to keep a close eye. I don't like working during the day anyway. It doesn't fit my palate. So my palate works best at night under lamp, in the corner of a smoky pool hall, which I'm sure they
a sepia aura around you.
It's all black and white.
Oh, okay.
That's right. Like if you look at my character, the descriptions of every part of him, like hair color, eye color, everything's all gray, black and gray. Skin ashen, fair and ashen. So
okay.
So yeah, that's what he is, and he has a bow and arrow that he uses to judge whether or not a cultist is dabbling or serious, and if they're serious, he sends them to hell, literally to hell. This item is called the Hellfire Longbow, and any humanoid that I kill with it gets banished to the River Styx and turned into what are they called?
A lemur.
A lemur, yeah. Fleshy blob mud creature that lives in the River Styx.
Yep.
So you turn them into Chet from Weird Science.
I send them straight to that poor unfortunate soul's pit down at the bottom of the fucking ocean.
I gotcha. That's weird. I don't know. The way you were setting that up for a second, I'm like, no, wait a minute. You're going to kill them. And if they're evil, then they go to hell. And if they're not, well, that sounds very Salem witch trial-y to me.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what my dude is. He's
gotcha.
Think of a film noir witch hunter that specializes in fiend and devil magic.
Okay.
That's my bonus languages and my hunter's mark language, my favorite enemy is Abyssal and fucking Infernal.
Okay.
I don't speak Elvish because I don't want to talk to them.
Gotcha.
If you understand me, you're going to hell. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yunk always wonders why Mr. Graves says fog rolling around him when he comes in the room.
It's because the night hides the true realities of man. Deep down here in the backwater grime of the city, there's nothing left.
I thought the janitorial staff did a pretty good job of cleaning up all the grime around here. It's not, there's not grime.
It's not tangible crime or grime. It's a grit, a soot.
Like in the fireplace?
Everything's a fireplace down here. It's all fire.
We're not supposed to have fire in the library. Remember, burning the books and destroying them that's not something we're supposed to do.
Fire's purifying.
Fire hurts.
That's how you know
fire
it's
is
working.
Life.
That's how you know it's working.
The pain lets you know you're alive.
Fire's like ammonia.
What?
A little burn means it's working.
So it's Batman and Batman and
Batman and Turbo Robin. Wait a minute. I can't be Batman. I don't identify with Batman after this weekend.
Why? Because you don't have two little horny, handles on your other head.
Don't do that. I'm like, yeah, they do.
yeah, they do.
Yeah, they
Oh
do.
my
Just not in
God.
DC.
Okay.
I still can't believe that is blowing up as far as it has.
Oh, of course it's blowing up.
Oh God, Warner Brothers really stepped into it.
Yeah.
It was DC that responded.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were like, ooh.
Heroes don't
do that. That's why we haven't made a good one in the last 70 years.
Right.
Yeah, maybe some
Because no more of them are being born because they don't have sex. They're all androgynous Ken dolls down there.
Maybe if you fuckers got laid so much, we wouldn't have to rebuild Metropolis every 3 years.
Yeah.
Or reboot the comics every 5.
God. But that leads me to believe here they said very specifically heroes don't do that, which means Joker and Scarecrow are getting down.
And you wonder why Harley stayed.
Yeah, no wonder there's so many villains. Even the good guys like Catwoman are technically bad guys. I know what I mean? I get it now.
Look, there's a joke in there about Venom. Just make it yourself, okay?
Oh, he's not DC though.
I know.
Oh, but that tongue, yeah. For sure.
That's the joke.
It's like a road cone. It looks like that Triceratops tongue from Jurassic Park. Do you remember that thing? I think about that thing all the time. Not in like a weird way, but just in like a God, that was weird. Somebody decided to make that. There's no bones or fossil records of the tongue of a dinosaur. They just had to be like, I think it would be stonier than that. I'm like, oh, weird. Weird artistic direction.
Then we're going to squeeze it and see what oozes.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready?
No, but let's try anyway.
Okay, great. We should mention that this is our between season game, I guess.
Yes.
And so we wanted to do something different. So I'm running one of the adventures from Candlekeep Mysteries book that came out not too long ago.
Woo!
And I'm DMing, and Nate, Deese, and David have all made librarians who work at Candlekeep.
Librarians. We're librarians.
Librarians.
That's
That's right. Welcome to Book Company, ladies and gentlemen.
So we're gonna see how this goes, and maybe if everybody has fun, then maybe we can do more of these because there's a lot of them in the book.
Right. Let's be clear about one thing. The three of us are going to have a lot of fun. The question really depends, Rachel, is whether or not you want to subject yourself to this again in a couple of months.
She hasn't learned her lesson, so
True.
Obviously not.
Yeah. All right.
You thought Bardic Company was bad.
Yeah. We just haven't broken her yet. That's really what it means.
We went from bards to bookkeepers.
All right. Well, the three of you who all work in your own different sections of Candlekeep were tasked to help pull some books for a research request. So one of the great readers, her name is Alay Avonmore. She got in touch with the three of you and wanted the three of you to basically go through your own, since you're each very familiar with like your own specialties of the books. She has asked for the three of you to go through the sections and find any books that concern planar travel, specifically the Shadowfell, and pull those to bring so that way they can have them ready for a researcher who's coming to Candlekeep.
Sounds good. I'll take care of it right now.
Tis not like I had anything else to do.
I am skipping through my section, pulling books all about travel because I don't quite grasp the fact that planar travel is any different than normal travel.
True.
Planar trainers and automobiliers.
Well, you know,
And
Yonk works in the children's book section of Candlekeep.
Yes.
It basically hosts all of the nursery rhymes, all of the fables, everything. You know, these are the books that he cut his teeth on as a dragonborn, no pun intended.
Before I learned how to use a knife and fork.
Yes. As he came to the library, you know, in search of knowledge and education, fell in love with the children's book section because they were kind of basically what he learned to read. He really hasn't progressed beyond that, but he's very excited. He knows his section better than anything. So he's a really big fan of one particular author that comes out of Waterdeep. His name is Tondador Gasseldram, although he's better known as his pseudonym or Sarek the Cleric.
What's Spock's dad?
Yeah. So he's going through it, and he knows he's supposed to be pulling books about travel. And so one of the first ones that he goes and pulls is probably one of his favorite books. It's called "Oh, the Bugbears You'll Slay." But then he kind of gets off track and starts pulling all of basically Sarek the Cleric's greatest hits. So there's The Dire Rat in the Hat. There's A Beholder on My Shoulder. Horston Here's a Hobgoblin. One Flump, Two Flump, Red Flump, Blue Flump is a good one. And
That's a good one.
And then probably his favorite one is How the Grick Stole Winter Shield. So, and he's
I read the sequel. Gray flump, white flump, black flump, gray flump. Pretty much all gray flump.
But yes, he takes the charge with aplomb, and he goes and he pulls these books, not fully understanding the fact that they probably will have absolutely no use to this task, but
okay,
he's gonna do it anyway.
Well, also you're also tasked to find books on the Shadowfell, which there probably aren't a lot in the children's section, but the ones that are there are like, ooh, these are like the scary stories.
Oh, so kind of like R.L. Stein's Goosebumps series. Okay,
probably
Goosepimps.
Younger than that, but that sort of, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, gotcha.
It's by Heverly Bleary.
All right,
Ramona in the Dark.
Edgar Graves.
How can I help you?
You are also tasked with pulling books on planar travel and the Shadowfell. Do you want to describe sort of your responsibility in the library and what you're going to be looking for?
I normally try to push all the tasks off to others, you see. Being a little busy. Trying to keep an eye on these devils and these demons, see? Everything around this town is dark. Especially dark down here where all the grimy filth of humanity lives. Lays, swaths about.
They just need someone to clean up the streets and the aisles. And that's what I'm doing. It just kind of, you pan out and it's like sweeping, cleaning up out here because a clean workplace is important. You understand? I'm like yelling at people. Shh. Sorry. But yeah, so I figure there's a lot of books in the area that are dangerous. I'm keeping an eye on them to see who's coming and going. I'm like medieval Patriot Act. keeping a close eye on the comings and goings of those who worship dark lords and dark magics.
Well, just because someone wants to look at a book concerning that doesn't automatically mean that they're like evil or they're interested in summoning a devil.
No, it does.
Like
We've run off all the goth kids.
All right.
But that's what I'll do. I'm going to go and collect all of the books that have any references to that. Most of my things are pretty organized and tagged and like to know easily. So when I go back to my board with my photos of patrons and string that I can connect, who's doing what. I like to have them pre-tagged. So it should be relatively simple to get all the books that have Shadowfell.
All right. And Mr. D'Angelo Montero.
I guess life rings. I'm pushing my cart with books down the aisle, questioning why I decided to wake up again. Oh, sleep, those little slices of death, how I loathe you. Going through, picking one book after the other. Planar travel. Would it be fun to leave this place? Continuing down the aisle to another book. Oh, the shadow. Just a mirror of the light.
He strummed one finger across his nipple in a slow circular pattern. He let out a gasp.
Oh, God.
All right. So, the three of you finish going through your sections around the same time, and as you're bringing your book carts filled with whatever you pulled for LA, the three of you actually all sort of like meet up in the same hallway at sort of the same time. You're going in the same direction. As your carts sort of like bump against each other and jostle, a few of the books fall into the hallway and get mixed up. And as you guys go to, like, oh, this is a children's book, this goes in my cart. This book has like a screaming demon skull etched into the cover, that goes on my cart. You guys find one book and none of you are sure which section it came from. This thin book bears no title, inside or out. The cover is cracked, unvarnished, thin sheets of black oak that have little scratches and indentations that almost look like maybe a bird pecked at it. The pages are yellowed with age and are wrinkled from moisture, and it's handwritten in a tiny blotchy brown script.
This one's clearly mine.
You don't remember pulling this book.
Well, I mean, it's clearly mine. Look at it.
If it is yours, it is yours.
Has anyone seen my copy of Green Dragon Eggs and Boar? I don't see it anywhere.
Alas, it is under my foot. Probably where it belongs. But my apologies. Here you go.
Thank you, Mr. Montero.
Can I get you guys' names again? Sorry. Nate, what's your name?
Young Kill. Oh, crap. I can never remember.
You're really getting into character.
Yeah, I am. Young Kill Solwinax. Sulwunax. Solwinax. But everyone in the library affectionately calls me Yonk.
Solinax?
Solwinax.
Okay. And Yunk. Okay.
Yep.
And Dees?
Edgar Graves. But
Okay.
everyone just calls me Mr. Graves.
Okay.
I call everyone Mr.
All right. Thank you.
What brings you around these parts, Yonk? Yonky tonk lad? Yonky tonk woman? What's going on?
Where does that trumpet music coming from again, Mr. Graves? It's here.
I don't hear it. Everyone's always so weird about that. I don't hear it.
You.
'Tis the trumpets of death you hear, child. Do not embrace it.
Jesus. That's dark even for me.
Miss Evenmore, she asked me to pull some books about planar travel, but I don't really have any books about planar travel in my section. I don't really know what planar travel is, to be honest, but I got these books, and I very proudly show basically the entire collection of Sarek the Cleric's works.
Here you go, kid. Let me explain it to you. And I'm going to take a stack of his books, and I'm like, you see how these are all stacked up?
Yeah.
We're up here on the top one. Yeah?
Well, no, we're in the library in the hole on the floor.
Imagine for a minute that we're real tiny and we're living on this top book, yeah?
Okay.
See the book underneath it? That's another place where other people live. And the one underneath it is more of the same, more the same, more the same, as deep down as it goes. You understand?
So you mean Yordle the Turtle lives in that book right there?
Yes. Sort of, I guess.
I take the book and I open it and I kind of shake it.
No, he's out to lunch. Speaking of out to lunch, how you doing?
I'm already walking away with my cart.
See, now you're going to get us left behind.
Mr. Montero seems like he's in a good mood this morning.
I feel like this is going to be one of those types of conversations. I'm going to have to put an end to it. So here we go.
Oh okay. Right. Well, are you going to Miss Evenmore? Were you supposed to pull books too?
I was, and I did. As you can see from my books that I've pulled.
Your books don't have pictures on them.
No.
Well,
I've donated all my pictures to you. Don't you see? Let's go.
As Graves,
I'm turning more Groucho Marx as this goes on, and I'm really into it.
As Graves
by the end of the show, it'll be hot to cha cha cha. You know what I'm saying? Let's get going.
As Graves goes to put this last book back on his cart, a loose piece of paper falls out. I'm going to send what it is to the group chat, and it actually does have pictures.
Here you go. This is more your speed.
I like pictures.
And by speed, I mean it's not moving. It's a picture.
And so in the upper top left corner, it says "Evil Beware." There's some different landmarks that seem to be labeled. It looks like there's a town, some trees, and a little poem in the bottom left corner.
Follow the trail to the Hand and Horn. Past, I can't read this. This is too small. Follow the trail to the Hand and Horn, past Tree Hill, over River Warren, to the Worm's Mark and the Foggy Moors. West of there, the treasure's yours. What do you think that means?
I don't know. Is that where you come from, the Foggy Moors?
I'm always from everywhere. I'm a man of the universe, don't you see? Many planes, many dames, many cigarettes, many bourbon stains. You see what I mean? It's all rhymes up here, pal. Let's get to going.
I say yes, but the look on my face clearly says no.
Okay.
Let's kick rocks, kid. Let's make movements.
What rocks?
Your fingers and thumbs are all mixed up, kid. You're out of business. Let's go.
So
I just follow along like a lost puppy dog.
All right. So you three reached the office of Evenmore around the same time, although D'Angelo gets there first since he abandoned the two of you. And she's looking over the books and sort of picking out which ones they're going to have ready for the researcher that's coming.
So what's the sitch, Dollface? What's going on here?
Just a researcher should be here within the week to look up some stuff about the Shadowfell.
You said a week.
Yes.
So we will deprive our other patrons of this knowledge for the week that they are not here.
Do you have a lot of people asking for these?
All the time. We're busy as bricks down there.
Well, if they ask for it specifically, then you'll know where you can find it. Until then, we'll keep it ready for our researcher.
Miss Avonmore, I couldn't really find anything in my section, but I did bring a copy of the Oblex. He speaks for the oozes. And I hand it to her.
You hear that? He speaks for the oozes.
I don't know if this will help.
It won't, but thank you anyway.
I'll look through these. Thank you, Yonk. And I'll send the ones that we don't need back to the children's section.
Okay.
How long should we expect these to be in your possession?
Custody.
Until our researcher gets here, and then they'll spend a couple of days going through these, and then I'll send them back to the three of you.
Anything we should be aware of? What are they researching?
They're researching the Shadowfell.
You can't be more specific than that?
I don't know. They asked for books on the Shadowfell.
You're slippery, lady. You're slippery like eating grips with a fork.
It's not our place to ask for specifics. They want to do some research. Our collection is here for people to use for research.
It's like soup with chopsticks with you people.
She'll pick up the book that fell earlier. She'll say, "What is this one?"
Mr. Graves claims it was his.
It's got pictures in it. There's a map and there's a story.
Called a poem.
Yeah, poem. That's right. Yeah, something about foggy floors and worms, and there's a treasure in it. I like stories that have treasures at the end.
There's a warning of dread it starts with.
The middle's pretty good too.
If you survive that long.
She'll flip through it.
You will. It's not long. I think you're gonna make it.
May die of boredom.
So negative. What genre are you again? I'm so curious.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh yeah, I figured it was something gothy. I can practically hear the ascot on your delivery.
Yeah, I got posters of Coheed and Cambria all over my walls and my black light.
Snifter of brandy in your hand at all times. You never drink it. You just swirl it around slowly.
That's how you clean the glass. You got to disinfect it, yeah?
She's going to look at the map and then compare it to the book. And you can see the paper quality is very different. And she's going to go to her desk and kind of flip through some books that are basically accounts of like when books get donated to Candlekeep, and sort of because some books come to the library under sort of strange circumstances. And she's going to sort of frown and say, "We don't have any record of this map. And it wasn't here the last time there was a record of someone looking at this book." And then she's going to look at you, Graves, since you claim that this is from your section, because it means that someone tampered with this book and it wasn't documented.
What are you giving me the rigmarole for, eh? Huh?
Well,
you got to stare, you're going to burn holes to it.
Where did this map come from?
I'd imagine from someone's hand.
There's no documentation about it being added to the book.
We didn't know it was in there. We didn't even know the book was here.
You said this was from your section.
I told them it was from my section because I'm always trying to expand my selection.
You can't just claim different... the books have to be in order. You can't just claim books from different sections and put them in your...
Yeah, that sounds like sort of a conservative attitude, Toots. You want to...
I don't want to cause a stink, but it does have pictures and a nursery rhyme in it. I mean, that kind of should go in my section, shouldn't it?
Listen, kid, you don't want to cause a stink. Take a bath once a week. I'm going to snatch the book back from him.
You kind of see him like sniff like under his arm.
All right, look at this.
It's fine.
Look at the color palette.
We all stink with the smell of life.
Jesus Christ, man. Why don't you take a Zoloft?
It didn't help.
Oh my God. That made it worse. Die. He called it. I wasn't going to make it all the way through.
It's okay. I choke on life too.
Hey, yo.
Unlike Batman.
Life's very long. It's filthy. Okay.
All right. Well, while I'm going through these to see what our researcher is going to want, I want the three of you to look over that book, see if anything else has been changed about it, and try to figure out what exactly that map is about.
Where was the original section it came from?
You said it came from your section.
Well, I clarified that I was just trying to claim it, right? We're all part of the same conversation here, aren't we?
Uh-huh.
Seemed like you might have checked yourself out, librarian.
Well,
we found it at a crossroads of the three of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry. I was too busy reading a book, and I kind of bumped into them with my cart, and well,
that's all right. Just look over it, see if anything else has been changed, see if there's some sort of reference to the map in it, or where the map is supposed to be.
Or you're harsh with me, but you give him more latitude than a globe. I see how it is.
Let me know what you find out.
Okay. I kind of straighten myself up to sort of give myself the appearance that I know what I'm doing, and I take the book and I leave her office and go try and find the nearest sort of table out in the library on the floor that we're on to begin studying it. And immediately you can tell as I sit down and I begin to read through this that I'm way out of my depth, because I'm just kind of going through the pages and then going back. And
you like put your finger up to the word and you're like saying the word out loud.
You can see my large dragonborn mouth sort of moving along with the words as I'm trying to work them out. Some of them I recognize, most of them I don't. But are there other pictures in this book besides the map?
No.
So it's all written word, and the map just kind of fell out of it.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to continue reading it and trying to impress Miss Avon more, until someone takes it away from me.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to sit down next to him and I'm going to pour myself a scotch.
Where did you get that from? You just take it out of your robe?
Yeah. It's not robes. I'm wearing a long coat.
Oh, okay.
You should always be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tilt my hat back on my head. And I'm going to pick up my glass and be like, mind if I take a look?
I just kind of slide the book over, but I don't really let go of it. I just kind of let him look sort of at the side as I continue to try and make out what I'm reading.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to hold my glass away from the book. And I'm going to lean over and take a look.
Okay.
What language is it in?
It's in Common.
Good script, poor script?
It's very like tiny, blotchy script. It looks like whoever was writing it had sort of an unsteady hand.
Unsteady hand. Okay.
Yeah.
The leaning of the letters, does it seem like this is written quickly? I'm assuming it's written with the right hand. That's an assumption we can just generally make.
Yeah.
So if it pulls to the right, they're writing quickly, right? Does it look like it was written in quick, feverishly, or slowly?
Most of it is not written quickly, but you notice the last like page or two, it's like the author started writing more quicker.
Okay, can I just read that bit?
Okay. Without any context, the last part of the book is someone describing sort of the cheery mood of the author and a group of people that they're traveling with, and how they're going up a winding mountain road to the gates of a tall, dark castle. They start to describe the castle, and then there's this sort of like
mid-sentence, like mid-word, there's like this sort of line of the pen, like someone pulled the book out of their hands and it just ends.
But it doesn't seem like they're expecting it.
No.
Seems like they were comfortably writing and then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what we can infer from this is that it looks like our writer here was surprised. Looks like he was in a relatively good mood too.
What makes you say that, Mr. Graves?
You see this little line here?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, okay, now keep your eye on the line, stare straight ahead,
mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to move the book really quickly.
When he says stare straight ahead, my head turns straight ahead and looks out into the library. I can't stare straight ahead and look at the book at the same time unless you hold it up in front of my face.
I'm going to pull a piece of paper out. I'm going to set it down. I'm going to take a quill,
mm-hmm.
and I'm going to have him write his name.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then as he's writing it, I'm going to snatch the paper away. He's going to leave a line. And then I'm going to show it to him. See?
But I didn't get to finish my name.
Exactly. I surprised you. I snatched it away from you and I left that long.
You made me write on the table. Miss Avonmore's gonna be so angry with me.
I think you're focusing on the wrong thing here, kid. Look at the book. Look at the paper.
Uh-huh.
Notice anything similar?
Well, that's a line, and that's a line. I'd like to make an intelligence check to see if I can make.
Okay, give me an intelligence check to see if
Can I aid another by waving them slowly in his face?
At a -1.
Oh no.
I rolled a 7.
Aid another?
Yeah, we'll say you can roll this at advantage since you've got someone desperately trying to
6. So
fantastic.
You're rushing him. It's
oh crap, this is awesome. Do we have a dice roller on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where? I don't see
just click any of the buttons.
Yeah. I never
any of the buttons.
Like if you're rolling a save or whatever, you click on the number for it and it should roll it for you. I don't
really?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. I don't use it. Well, I haven't tried to use it on this new computer, but for some reason on my old one, when I would try to roll in D&D Beyond, like my whole browser would just like slideshow for like 30 seconds.
Oh geez.
Mr. D'Angelo.
Yes.
Well, these two are Graves is trying very hard to convey that, you know, pulling paper from someone as they're writing on it leaves this line. I assume that you followed the two of them because you were also tasked with learning more about this book.
Yes.
So their attention is off of it at the moment. Is there anything that you would like to do?
I'm holding it in my hand.
Well, no, you turned your attention to like have Yonk write his name on the paper and then pull the paper from him, and now you're like trying to show him
the book and the paper so he can compare.
Yeah. Well, I would like for David to also do stuff during this game.
I'm just trying to keep it cohesive, but whatever.
Okay. All right, David.
Mr. Graves, may I?
Absolutely. Go ahead. This might take a minute.
He's going to try and pull that away from you. Just warning you.
Then it would be like every moment of my life that is pulled away by time.
Jesus Christ, man. Get it I handed you a book, not a pistol.
I begin to flip through the first few pages looking for a name, looking for a written by or to, or love mom, dad given to, something that identifies the writer.
Going through the first few pages, the writer does not identify themselves, although you get the sense that it's a woman. And it sort of starts off with her recounting that she fell off her horse and broke her leg. And she was rescued and befriended by a group of travelers known as the Vistani.
Thank God you didn't fall off a human as a horse. Otherwise, they'd have to shoot her for breaking her leg.
And this journal seems to be her account of her travels with the Vistani and learning about their culture and their abilities.
Can I do a history check from my time in the library to see if I recognize the word Vistani?
Sure.
The library?
All right.
Rachel, you're asking for it in this game.
I know.
This reminds me of Dumpty Humpty when he fell off the wall and broke everywhere.
An 11.
No, not familiar. You'd have to read more. You'd have to read through this to get a better sense of who exactly they are. It seems like, at least according to the author, they have some sort of extraordinary ability.
Okay. A people with power. I wish I had an ability.
So sad.
Yeah, it really is.
Mr. Montero?
Yes, Yonk.
Is the horse okay?
In the story?
Uh-huh.
He was turned into the glue that holds the pages together.
Oh, no.
Yonk recoils and it's like Donald Sutherland, like
he's at a farm. They took him to a farm.
The book does not say the horse.
Elmer's farm.
But I assume he fared better than the writer.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So we're just not going to tell him?
No, we're not going to tell him.
Okay.
There are some things the innocent still need protected from.
I can't wait for the first time that Nate rages and he just like beats someone to death with his fist.
The funnier part is, Nate, how tall are you?
I am 6'8".
Yeah, and I just people listening. I mean, I want you to understand this Dragonborn is 6'8",
303 pounds, copper skin, yellow eyes.
Yeah,
my character's giant.
Yeah, my character's about $150 in weight, standing at like a 5'10", 5'11". I'm not sure how tall Deese's character is, but
6'1".
We are ripping a book around and messing with the emotions of a 6'8".
I just thought that was funny that I immediately defaulted to calling him kid.
Oh yeah, completely, dude. I mean, it's completely going that way, but I just want everyone listening to understand we are calling a kid a 6'8" Dragonborn that could literally like rip our arms off.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, okay. I just want you to know my movement speed's faster than you, D-Walk, so
doesn't have to be faster. He doesn't have to be the fastest. He just has to be faster than you.
That's okay. I think I have hold person.
All right.
Yeah, good luck casting it with no arms.
Now, if you guys want to spend some time to read through this, there's some stuff that you can learn about the Vistani.
Yes, that's what we're going to do.
Okay. So the book is a first-hand account of someone who fell off her horse and broke her leg, but was rescued and befriended by Vistani travelers who nursed her back to health. The author and her horse traveled with the Vistani for 3 months. During which the author spent most of her time in a Vistani-covered wagon where she took to writing the book to pass the time. She doesn't really name many of the Vistani specifically, just like a couple people that she interacts with the most, like people who help like change her bandages and stuff like that. The book provides a detailed account of the Vistani way of life with emphasis on their food and music. The overland journey is also discussed, although from the point of view of someone who spends it inside a covered wagon.
Right.
There's a lot of impenetrable mist, thick forests, crackling fires, wolves howling in the dead of night, ravens pecking at the roof of the wagon. And then it ends with this travel up a mountain road to the gates of a tall, dark castle. And then it sort of just abruptly ends, like the book was taken mid-sentence. The journal itself is sort of loosely titled Book of the Raven, because ravens are very important to the Vistani. You guys learned through this that the Vistani are planar travelers, often encountered in the Shadowfell, and they seem to be immune to the despair that besets all of their visitors on that plane. They often display wealth openly as a sign of prosperity. They're typically travel as families, with whoever is the oldest member being the person in charge. The Vistani have a power, some say a gift, to travel through the mists that lead to forlorn realms within the Shadowfell known as the Domains of Dread, where creatures born of darkness dwell. This gift was thrust upon them by mysterious entities called the Dark Powers as a boon for their kindness towards strangers. The Vistani believe that ravens carry lost souls within them. Hence, killing a raven is considered bad luck in Vistani culture.
Killing a raven, keep that in mind, Rachel. If you kill a raven, it's bad luck. So
we'll see.
Keep that.
I don't know. That's just what the Vistani say.
They're probably right though.
Mr. Graves, are you Vistani because of all the mist and everything? Did you come from the forest?
I've been to a forest.
Oh, okay.
Have you been to a forest? What are we doing here? What are we talking about?
You just see me with your quill. I'm still like holding the quill still, and I'm taking the piece of paper you gave me, and I'm continuing to pull it out from under it, trying to make some sort of connection.
He'll get there.
So the map, you guys can tell based off the difference in paper quality and even the difference in handwriting. It wasn't made by the person who wrote Book of the Raven. It seems to have been placed in the book at a later point, most likely after the book made its way to Candlekeep. Otherwise, the addition of the map would have been noted when the book was first donated to the library. However, you guys should be able to discern that this map must have something to do with the Shadowfell, or maybe something about planar travel, or maybe something about the Vistani, since it was specifically placed in this book.
Okay. Well, I think maybe the first thing we need to do is do some research. What do you think? Maybe we could ask around. Maybe we could talk to the researcher when they get here.
They'll be here in a week, won't they?
Well, I'd imagine that would be the last thing we did if we couldn't find something out before then.
Don't we have a specialist here on the Shadowfell somewhere in Candlekeep?
You're not aware of anyone who is specifically about the Shadowfell. There are like the great readers who have different specialties. Let's see.
What about an expert on the Vistani? Anthropology, maybe.
Yeah, it wouldn't be someone who was like, I've only studied the Vistani all my life.
No, but someone who knows of cultures and where they hail from.
Yeah. You could possibly talk to Scrivenbark. He has an expertise in history, folklore, and cultures of Toril.
They might know something.
They could know something. Silvira is an expert in the Great Wheel of the Plains.
That'd be another good pick. Anyone else?
Vizier Og knows about all things unnatural, including aberrations, undead, and the far realm.
Okay, well, let's do them in order.
Okay.
That way we'll have information to bring to the next person, maybe flesh out our thinking. So let's go to Anthropology Boy first. He knows about cultures.
Yes, that would be Scrivenbark.
Right.
He is.
What do you think? You guys busy today? You guys got a minute? More than a minute? I'm sorry, let me be very specific. Do you have a couple of hours?
Well, Miss Avonmore said my books won't be back for a week, so I guess I have a week.
I assume you have other books, correct?
Well, yeah, but I'm usually the only ones that reads the books out of the children's section, to be honest. So I keep it nice and tidy.
I have nothing to do.
All right, well then offer to Scriven Tree Bark.
Scrivenbark.
Yes.
All right. So Scrivenbark, he is a halfling. He's going to be in one of the other towers of Candlekeep, but you guys, you have to spend a little bit of time tracking him down, but you eventually find him in a room that holds a collection that specializes in will say folklore of the people of Daggerdale.
Okay.
And he's like up on a ladder to get to the top of the shelves. Can I help you?
Yes, hopefully.
Uh-huh.
We'd like you to take a look at something and answer some questions for us, if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. He'll come down the ladder. He takes his glasses out of his pocket, puts them on his nose. What are we studying today?
We're looking into information about the Vistani. You know anything about the Vistani?
Let's see if he knows anything about the Vistani. Yeah. I rolled a percent die and I got 99. He knows about the Vistani.
He knows all the things.
Where do they hail from?
Well, they are nomadic, so they hail from nowhere specific.
Where I heard about a place with mist.
They are often associated with mist. It's part of their gift, where they can travel to different planes. They have a heavy connection with the Shadowfell. Typically, this travel involves a heavy mist, and then once it clears, they've arrived to their new location.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it works for you, Mr. Graves?
I'm reacting to you. I'm just staring.
Are you researching the Vistani?
We are.
Oh. They're very interesting people. It can be complicated to find them. There's, once you hear about, there's a group of Vistani camped out here, by the time you get there, they're usually gone. So a lot of information comes from accounts of other people's encounters with them. It's very difficult to really sit down and have a discussion with them.
Well, we're looking for maybe a way to get in contact with them. You need to have a lead.
You have a lead?
Mm-hmm.
What is your lead?
It's a map.
To a Vistani camp?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to look around at the other two. Like, between you and me. Like, we're not exactly sure where the map is, but it was tucked inside of a book that told a story of a woman who was traveling with a Vistani. So we're assuming, put 2 and 2 together, get 5. You know what I'm saying?
Can I see your map?
I'm going to look at Yonk like, calm down. Yes.
She found a horse.
I pat Yonk's shoulder just sympathetically. Yeah, I reach up and pat his shoulder.
Way up. Mr. Scrivenbark, do you know anything about the horse that the lady was on? Is it okay? Mr. Graves said it got turned into glue. He's being mean to me today.
Oh,
I'm not being mean. That horse is definitely glue.
I'm sure it was fine, Yonk.
Okay, good.
It was definitely not road again.
It was the best glue we ever used.
Do you guys show him the map?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably not. I can't imagine it would give much information away anyway.
Who has the map?
I have the map.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it to you.
I mean, are you holding it?
Or do you think that horse is still alive? Yeah, I got it tucked away in my coat.
Okay.
Why?
Just curious.
No, you were asking for a reason. Why don't you?
I was asking for a reason. Because if you were holding that map and debating over whether or not you were going to show it to Scrivenbark, I was going to grab and go, see, Mr. Graves found this map and it's got a nursery rhyme at the bottom and there's pictures and there's a road and a forest and there's this really scary looking mountain down here at the bottom. It's got all the smoke coming out of it. And that's like mist and maybe the Vistani are there and he's trying his damnedest to, but if the map is Edgar is not holding the map. If it's tucked away, I would never presume to reach into his coat and try and pull it out.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Scrivenbark says, well, if you have a lead to potentially meet Vistani, I would say you should go there as soon as possible because they're not known to stay in one location for very long.
Right on. Perfect. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you for your assistance. Anything else? You guys thinking of anything?
All right.
Edgar Allan Poe. Okay. Anything else? No one has any other. I'm gonna be like, I'm going to regret asking this. Mm-hmm. Yonk.
Well, he said the horse was okay, so that's good enough for me.
These Vistani, you said they're nomadic in nature.
Yes.
They don't take well to outsiders or guests. I'm assuming.
It really depends. You certainly need to treat them with respect. I mean, they were given their gift, if you would call it a gift, as a boon of their kindness towards strangers.
Now, is this gift as in a gift in common or gift as in Germanic as the word poison?
I would say the second one.
Well, this is becoming a little disheartening, I'll be honest.
Well,
it has been given to us to seek them. Seek them we must.
There are 2 more librarians we can talk to. Maybe they know something.
Yeah, we can get an update on that horse. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. He's gonna go back up the ladder. Okay, how about you just stop talking and I'll record an outro.
Ooh, fuck you, kinda. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism Plays Candlekeep Adventures. We hope you had just as much fun listening as we did playing. If you like what we do and you want to support us, we have a Patreon.
Start that one again. If you...
I can edit it so that it comes together. Why don't you say it then?
If you like listening, consider supporting us on Patreon. Give us the money.
What's our Patreon?
Patreon.com/freelance_heroism.
Yes.
You can go there and you can find character journals and sometimes character sketches, art, background stuff, and awesome poems that are funny and sometimes not. You can check those out at any level, but if you donate at the producer tier, then we'll read your name at the beginning of the episode, every episode. So you can get credit for being cool before cool is cool, you know?
Our cast for today's game was Yonk as the children's librarian, D'Angelo Montero as our gothic fiction librarian, and Detective Edgar Graves as our Constantine demon hunter gritty 90s graphic novel film noir librarian.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes what's got to be done's got to be done, and you got to do it.
If you like our podcast, please rate it. We also have a Facebook. You can follow us there. And some other stuff that's in the show notes.
Check it out. It's down there.
Are you pointing?
Yeah, it's under the episode.
Okay. All right. I guess we will be back next week for Chapter 2 of Candlekeepers.
Well, you can't say Chapter 2. For the next chapter.
For the next chapter of Candlekeepers.
Yeah.
This outro is going to be a disaster.
It's only going to be a couple episodes.
I'm going to keep it all in. Who listens to the outro?
Oh, it's super clean.
I didn't mean to take over your dragon story. I just thought it was funny that
oh no,
you had a surprise dragon and then I had a surprise dragon.
I thought it was funny that your dragon had eye problems just like I had earlier. I was like, man, it is true. We're both white. We're both incredibly powerful, and our eyes don't work. I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.